Hello guys, Bud here with Dependable Lawn Care, and today it's raining outside, and so I'm doing a little bit of office work, I guess you'd say. I'm mailing out all of my thank you letters. So I got on Vistaprint and or Vistaprint. I know everybody pronounces that differently. And I made up these postcards. And they're very basic, very simple. They have our logo, and which I actually created my logo through Vistaprint in the first place. So I have all of that when I log in. But it just says, "Thank you for choosing us. We really appreciate your business this year and look forward to serving your lawn care needs in 2019. And then Dependable Lawn Care and my phone number. And what I'm doing is sending these out to all of my lawn care customers for this year. So I have all of my cards in the envelopes with my labels and stamps, and you can see there's a pretty good stack there. I also had these peel and stick labels made up on Vistaprint, which I still have some customers that are older and they really don't trust the online invoicing, and it's just not their preference, and so they still have me mail their invoices monthly. And so these peel and stick labels are fantastic for that, but they're also great for this, of course. And then I've got stamps, and anyway, I just wanted to talk about this a little bit. It's just as important to retain customers as it is to gain customers. My business did a lot of growing this year, and which is fantastic, but not a lot through advertising. I actually did a lot more growth through word of mouth, and I guess advertising as far as my trailers, because I have my trailers decaled up pretty nice, and people see those, and they often call me just based on what they see when they drive by the properties that we're working on. And then I do get a few through Facebook as well. I do a lot of Facebook posts and advertising with my business page there. But anyway, it's just as important to keep customers as it is to gain customers. And this is just kind of my way of saying thank you to the customers that I have, and hoping that they'll continue business with us next year, along with good customer service and a good relationship. I try to take the time to talk to my customers, figure out what they need, what they want, and do my best to provide those services. So everything that I got, my envelopes are the peel and stick envelopes, so you don't have to lick every envelope. And then of course the labels and the stamps are as well. And I don't remember exactly what I spent on Vistaprint, because I actually got some door magnets for my truck, and did my peel and stick address, and the postcards and everything. I did a bunch of stuff at the same time, but it didn't cost very much, and compared to the price that I put on keeping the customers that I have, it's money well spent in my mind. But regardless, I just wanted to kind of show you what I was doing this morning, and also, so I've got all these made up, right? I've got them all labeled with my address and the stamps. And then the next thing I do is I go to Yardbook. And if you guys aren't already using Yardbook, I would definitely highly suggest using Yardbook. And I won't go to my customer list to keep their information private, but right there is the customer tab. So if I click on customers, It's the entire list of all of my customers, their name, address, email, address, all of that. So I'm just going to use my Yardbook customer list to put all of the addresses on the envelopes. And I also use Yardbook for all of my invoicing. Now this is just the phone app version, which has pretty much all of the functions. Right now, if I wanted to go to invoicing, I would have to go over here to more features, and that actually signs me into the online version. The app, I can pull up most of my information from the app, all of my customer information. And but if I actually want to go to the website to use more features like invoicing and estimates and things like that, then I have to use that. So. But man, that app and that program is so handy, and I just have the free version. I don't have the extras that you can pay for, but I use that for my online invoicing. I use it for my online payments, and it goes through Stripe, and they take, I think Stripe takes 2% as their fee for the online payments. But the cool thing about it is when you send an invoice, in fact, I'm going to stop here and I will pull up a blank invoice and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay guys, I'm still on my phone app, but I went to my Yardbook invoicing app. So this is the top of the page, and basically this is how it works. So you have your logo that you put at the top. There's the company info, as you can see. So customer info, it has a drop down tab. So if I hit the little arrow on the right, that drops down all of my customers. I just select the customer. It automatically pulls up their name and address. And then I go down here to add an item, and I plug in, I have all of my services already put in a kind of like a calendar or a Rolex of services that I provide, and I can just click on that service, and it's actually individualized too. So each individual customer, I have a price for mowing their lawn or aerating their lawn, and after you've selected a customer and you go to add an item, if it's a lawn care customer, the first thing that it pulls up on the item list is that customer and the amount that I normally charge to mow their yard. And so typically that's what I'm invoicing for anyway. So I can click on that, just real quick, type in, whether it's 1 cut, 2 cuts, whatever it might be, 3, 4, 5, sometimes on the weekly customers. But plug that in real quick, it pulls it up. It gives the, you've got a selection here for each customer, and I have all this information entered in for each customer, but the payment term, which is, how many days you expect payment within, and I usually have that set up on a net 7, so the customer receives their invoice, they have 7 days to get it paid. And then, you have your discount, past due amount, date of service, all that optional. And then here would be your amount. And I showed you all of that to say that when the customer goes online to make a payment, okay, and they pull up their invoice and then they click on the online payment option, it takes them to a link to make a payment. And the first thing that pops up is add a tip. Okay, and then it gives percentages. So, and I don't remember right off the top of my head, but I think it's like 5, 10, 15, 20, etc. % tip. And I have been amazed at how many of my customers will select. It might be the first one, and it may only be $5, $6, $10, $15, but they'll select a tip option fairly often. Some customers do it every time. Some customers will do it after a special service like an aeration or an overseed, that kind of thing. But they'll select that tip and add that tip to their invoice payment. And the tips that I have gathered up throughout the year have more than paid for the 2% that Stripe takes out to use the service. So it pays for itself and then some through the tips option. And so even though, you know, they take out their 2%, I haven't noticed that on my bottom line. In fact, it's been the opposite. So anyway, I just wanted to point that out. I haven't really talked about that very much because this year was my first full year of using Yardbook, and I just wanted to try it out for myself for a while before I, you know, gave you guys a plug-in on that. Just because I don't like to try something if I don't know it's going to work well and then recommend it to others. So, but I can say now that it definitely works great. Very, very pleased with that app and that program. And if you haven't already checked that out, do so. Some of the guys that I connect with here in my town, in my area, that do lawn care, you know, we help each other out and we try to network. You know, I've had a couple guys that I know that do lawn care that have gotten behind for one reason or another, health problems or family issues or whatever, and I've jumped in and helped them get caught up, and I haven't needed that myself, but the offer is there if I ever do. And this is something that I've recommended to them. You know, if you're not already using Yardbook, check it out. It might make your business life a lot easier. So anyway, that's probably enough of me rambling on, guys, but just a short little video talking about, you know, appreciating your customers. Make sure that you show them that you appreciate them, whether it's doing something like this or in other ways. And as always, you know, if you guys have ways of showing your customer appreciation that you use that's different than this, you know, let me know in the comments. Let me know what you do to show your customers that you appreciate them and to do what you can to retain your customers. And also, you know, feedback on Yardbook. I know that some of you guys use that, and for the ones that do, you know, let me know what you think, and let me know if you use some of those add-on features that you can pay for and what you think of those. And as always, guys, thanks for watching, and get out there and make some money. Appreciate you guys.